This is a very difficult time, for everybody in the world because of the epidemic that's ravaging. Is unprecedented. The world has never dealt with something that has been so unanimously felt. And apart from the fact that there's an epidemic, there's also the uncertainty. Businesses are going bust, oil prices are falling, people are losing their jobs. It's difficult not to get overwhelmed and afraid. It's very difficult, and it's almost like people are struggling to find the light at the end of the tunnel and they can't find it. And today I found myself getting scared. For the most part, I haven't been scared since this epidemic started. I have been at peace because, I trust that all things are working for good. So for the most part, I have been at peace. Let me just put it that way. And I've tried as much as possible to avoid the news and to avoid negative conversations because that's usually what makes things worse. That's what makes you start feeling anxious. But today, I'm not sure what happened. I just started getting scared. And, my mind just went to everything that was happening. And I was thinking about how's the world going to be after this. And I was thinking mostly about the economy, because people's livelihoods are being affected. And I started to really think about it. But then I caught myself in the middle before I went too far. And I just realized that yes, this is a difficult season, but the world has been through difficult seasons before, and we made it through. We've always found a way to make it through. And this is not going to be any different. When you're in the middle of a crisis situation, it looks like it's the end. You can never come out of it because, for the most part, as wise and smart and intelligent as human beings are, we can be very short-sighted. Because we have just these two eyes, and sometimes the situation that you're in feels like it's going to be that way forever. So, but we've been through, horrible times before, and we've made it through. And I just, found myself just coming back to that place of quiet confidence that everything is going to be okay, and today I'm just talking about coming alive in the fire. Right now, the situation we're in, we can it can be likened to a fire, and you have two choices. You can either allow the fire to consume you, or you can decide to come alive. It's like a phoenix. When a phoenix, is in the fire, it's burnt, but then it comes out stronger and better, and rejuvenated, energized. And as much as that sounds like it's almost impossible to do at this time, you just have to look at the fact that some people are actually making profit from this. Some people are already, aligning. Some people are innovating, figuring out how can we position ourselves for the new world that is going to be after this. And that is literally how you come alive in this particular fire. Because, after you're done being afraid, you're going to have to decide, what am I going to do next? I read in Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad how he said, instead of being afraid of change, you can prepare yourself for it, and be excited about it. And, I'm not a stranger to difficult seasons, and I know just how powerful they can be in shaping your life and making you stronger. I grew up as a sheltered child, and then my parents started sending me to boarding school because they wanted to toughen me up. And I was bullied and practically treated like an outcast, and I was just a child. I just wanted to stay home and play with my princess dresses. I hadn't signed up for, being beaten or abused. But that was the life that I had, and it was hard. It was really hard, but it made me stronger. I had to grow up early and I became a soldier. And after that, my family went through some difficult times financially. And that was hard as well because all the privileges I had as a child, I had to give up. And, it was then that I just realized that life was going to get tough. And if I didn't want to be beaten down, if I wanted to live a better life, I would have to find a way to become stronger. That if I wanted a good life, I would not only have to work for it, I'd have to fight for it. And I made up my mind that I was no longer going to let life happen to me, that I was going to take the bull by the horns and, basically make my own decisions. And so life has thrown me punch after punch after that, but I have gotten up stronger, wiser, and better. And these days I look in the mirror and I almost cannot recognize the woman that I have become. And I can tell you that it's the fires of life. Every time I stepped into the furnace of life, I came out, stronger, better, like a phoenix. And I realized that because you know that trouble is inevitable, I realized that the way to come out, the way to profit from your pain is to decide that every fire that you step into, you will come alive in that fire. You will bring some profit, some gain out of it, because you're going to be in the fire, you're going to get burnt, you're going to get hurt, it's going to get hot, and you have to decide, are you going to be a victor or a victim? It's always a choice that you make. It's not an easy choice. I would rather have not gone to boarding school and been bullied, but that's just how it was, and I had to make the best of that situation. So today I'm just saying that how can you come alive in this fire? It's a fire, it's hot, it's uncomfortable, but how can you come alive? And it doesn't have to be in learning a new skill, it doesn't have to be starting a business. It can just be that you come out with more intention about how you live your life. How are you going to be from now on? What are you going to do differently? Because we've all seen that the world as we think it is uncertain. I mean, we had goals, we had plans, we all had vision boards that we had drawn up, things that we're telling ourselves exactly how this year was going to turn out. But, I mean, look at, surprise, surprise, everybody's sitting at home and all those goals and visions just have to wait. So it's just, I think it's a wake-up call to see that we should really check our lives to be sure that we're living for the things that matter the most and we're doing the things that matter the most to us. Because if the world ends today, you want to be sure that you're going after living a full life, So I'm just speaking to myself as well and to you, is that what we do with this fire, what we do with this situation, what we do to come out victorious out of this situation